Yep, right timing. As we come in for quali right at the end, as AKZ Deadly is about a tenth off. Is it a tenth? A little bit over a tenth off Ivy. Ivy's in a good position here to start this race. Destroyer Drag, not with a good time so far on an outlap now. We're looking to improve for sure. His championship contender in P6 in this one. Merc, a track spa that is actually one of his favorite tracks to see how he's going to do. Is he improving on his quickest lap? He's currently on a push lap. This is his final lap of the session. And it's now or never for the championship leader, the man that has one hand on the championship and wants to grab it at the end of this race. If Drag does win the race, Merck has to finish on the podium to keep that championship. If Drag does come second, all Merck has to do is be in that top 5. But if Drag is not in the podium, then Merck just has to have a good and finish anywhere in the top 10. And he will be the champion. Yes, that's definitely what Merck will be hoping. But we will see. Alright, here we go. Merck on his final push lap of the session. Silky Stevens quali is over. Salty Stevens quali is over. The brothers are done for now. And Merck in that kick Sauber, the number 1 driver for the kick, is going to try and improve on his time. The final corner, he comes out. He definitely is up on his time because he's finishing his lap. And that is going to be, it doesn't look like it to be enough to improve on his place. It looked like he did improve on his time, but not his place. What would Destroyer Drag do? He's going to have the momentum now as he sees that Merck is only going to start in P6. Does Drag have enough to beat Boy Knockout and Woody at the end of this one? As Woody's end is... Oh! AKZ dead. Rusted Ball goes up to P3. Gonna stick with Destroyer Drag. Last corner, 2/10 up on his time. Would that be enough to go past Merck? Definitely. But where would he take him to? Destroyer Drag crosses the line, and the McLaren will start 6th, just in front of his championship contender. And that's gonna be 6 and 7 for Destroyer Drag and Merck. Ivy can still win this championship, but it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a really bad day from Destroyer Drag and Merck for him to win it. Going to take him a lot for him to win it. But AKZ Deadly will start at the top, 4,000 away. No, 400 away from Ivy in P2 and Walt 500 away from P1. That top 3 showing that their miles are faster than the rest. I know Merck will not have a problem with the top 3 being that quick if they can get away from the rest. If they can get away from the rest, all he has to do is finish in that top 7, top 8 to beat Ivy, even if Ivy does win the race. So here we go. It's going to be 5 minutes as always at the end of this one. And it's going to be the final race of onboard volume is higher than my voice. Yeah. Last week they said the onboard was just too light. Now the onboard volume is still is higher than my voice. Don't worry, I'll change that. I will change that. Thanks for the feedback. Let's just take the game volume down a tad. I hope it's not too low at the end now, because I don't want it to be too low. I want to actually hear the cars, not just the drivers. A 5-minute break, and we will be racing. Tesco Meal Deals, Hybrid, and Kingy OG are the reserves today. That's Mr. P. Had backed out of the championship 2 races to go. He was one of the ones that was in that championship that could win it. But backing out of it, it's a little bit of an advantage for his competitors, but not for him, as he could have had his 3rd Tier 1 championship, I believe. He's won 2 before, maybe 1, I can't remember. I remember he won 1 against Pesci. I think he might have won 1 before that. But yeah. 5-minute break as always. What time are we going to be going? Shalom. 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 Shalom, you goyim. Shalom, Kingy OG. Shalom, we're the chosen people, Kingy. I'm the chosen people. Worship me. Come to Israel. Israel, come to Israel. I'm Israel Shai. I'm Israel Shai. Don't let me start, please. Don't say stuff like that. You're just gonna make me start. This is not time for the great noticing. This is time for racing. So yeah, be careful. Yeah, they're listening. They're listening. They're gonna shut it down. They're absolutely gonna shut it down if I say too much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say too much. Is Jews are the chosen people. Don't bother me, please. Don't snipe me. I'm in my house. I don't even think they can see me from my house. But you never know. They are everywhere. They're on your TV too. Let's let me not start, please. Let's focus on the pace. Don't get me going. Because if you get me going, I can't stop. All right. What time are we going? What time are we going? What time are we going? IVP won. Mr. P not racing tonight, I think. Yeah, he's not racing tonight. He didn't race last week, and I don't think he raced the week before that. He backed out of this championship since after Australia. But Merck can finally, or Drac can finally, one of them can finally grab that championship. They've been in this league even before me. I think Merck and I arrived in the same season, and Drac was like a season before me. And that was one of the earlier season, I think season 3, season 4. But it was really early when we all arrived. Until Mr. P is a moist youth. Maybe Mr. P doesn't want to lose to the rest of them, so he's like, I'm not doing this. Or maybe vice versa, he wants to let them have this one, especially his mate Merck or his teammate Drac. As you know, McLaren have sealed the constructors weeks ago. We all knew they sealed the constructors weeks ago, so they're all focusing on their drivers' championship. They've had two now. It's all down to Merck to stop McLaren from doing absolute dominance this season. If Destroyer Jack ends up winning this championship, it's going to be an all McLaren championship. They win the constructors and they win everything from tier 1 down to tier 3. I tried to stop Tesco last week, but I failed. No one could stop Bevan in tier 3. He was just too perfect this season. And Destroyer Jack will be the last driver to try and do so. Oh my god. I'm going to allow that. I'm going to allow that. Look what Stephanie is saying in the chat. Come on, Stephanie, watch your mouth. Be a lady. From my sources, seems like there's going to be rain. That makes it even more interesting. I know, Stephanie, I know. Okay, Stephanie, calm down, mate. I won't butcher your name anymore. I know. I just thought you were trans. Thought you changed your gender. I was trying to support you, but it seems like you want to stay a man. So Stephanie, it is. Unless you chop off your nuts. If you chop off your nuts, then I can call you Stephanie. You call her Stephanie. I call her Hefene. Can you guys stop? Oh my god, man. Oh, everything you guys are saying, the stream is forcing me to allow it or deny it. I'm gonna allow everything. Is he racing? Is Stephanie racing? Stephanie. Is Stephanie racing? Nope, it's not. He's just warming out in the Red Bull today. Surprising. It's just Warner, the legend in the Red Bull today. Warner is one of the drivers I feel could fight for a championship in the seasons coming. Came from tier 2 last season, has been one of the best coming from tier 2. I mean, one of the ones to stay. A lot of them backed out. Boy, Knockout hasn't raced a lot. Gandalf gave up. I don't know why Gandalf gave up. Like at the start of the season, a lot of them were struggling and they felt like they were done with this tier. But that's not how it's done. Just keep fighting, and one day you end up finishing 6th or 5th or 4th, and that will just give you motivation to get faster. Then one day you end up on the podium, and you're like, hoo, podium it is, and you feel good. I've never finished on the podium in tier 1, and I was there for 2 seasons before dropping me down. 0 podiums in 2 seasons. So you just have to keep fighting. Just keep showing up every race. Right. When is it going to be lights out? Obviously, I want Merck to win it, but whoever wins it, but the best man win in the end. Obviously, I want my driver to win it. And it's going to be 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights at Spa. And the finale for Tier 1 and for the season is lights out, foot to the floor, and go, go, go. AKZ Delhi with a good start, keeps his lead. Rusted Bolt already spawned, retired from the session. Oh my god, he didn't even make it to turn 1. He lost the rare. Too much thought to put at the start of the race, and Rusted Bolt loses the rare. Warrior is going to take advantage of this, moves up to P2 at the start of this one. And that's even, it's not even a full safety car, it's a virtual safety car, so they will continue going. Merck and Destroyer Drag. Destroyer Drag P5, Merck in P8. Merck will want to get past Silky Stevens and Woody as soon as possible, but be careful here. Do not get a drive through penalty in the championship contenders. That is not what you need for your championship in a short race like Spa. 22 laps as Bolt is out of the race. He didn't even make it. Is that the shortest? Is that the shortest race? Is that the shortest time on track this season? I believe Bolt has broken a record after having 2 brilliant races in the last 2 races. He's now broken a record of the shortest race we'll ever see. DNF right at the start before they could even get off the line. Bolt was in the wall. Unbelievable. But the VSC definitely will be coming in very soon, and we'll see championship leader Merck starting on hard tires. Destroyer Drag also deciding to start on the hard tires, so they're on the same strategy sometimes. Oh, but Tesco Mildews right behind Merck. He will know that Tesco is right there, and he doesn't want that McLaren to get anywhere close to him as the race has resumed now. Alpine of Woody right in front of Merck, who will be looking to make those moves as soon as possible. Destroyer Drag behind Boy Knockout in the Ferrari, who has not raced a lot this season, but who will be here for the finale. 14 drivers on track, but 1 is gone now. It's now 13 to go. We have a bunch of reserves. Kingi Oji, Beiki, Tesco Mildews, and 4 reserves on track. And let's see what happens here. Tesco is going to be right behind Merck. Not the best corner there for Merck. He's going to be slightly behind Woody. He will still have that DRS when they end this lap. That will help him defend from the McLaren behind, who goes slightly deep there, almost goes into the back of the kick Sauber. And who is going to be the first to make overtake? Silky Stevens right behind Destroyer Drag. Definitely not going to make it easy for the McLaren as he's gaining on the McLaren. Is he going to fight the championship contender at the Aston Martin? Not enough for him, as Destroyer Drag will defend his place from Silky Stevens. Tesco also not close enough to Merck, who will be trying to help his teammate here, but it's not close enough just yet. Salty Stevens, though, right behind Tesco, will also try to help his teammate to try and put enough pressure on Tesco so it doesn't get too close to Merck. But Woody is in front in that Alpine. Merck knows that he has to clear Woody as soon as possible. They're all on hard tires except for Boy Knockout and Warrior in front of him. So they will all be on the same strategy for sure. 1 stop here at Spa. A short race, even if it's a long track. It is just 22 laps here. Some races this season that 30 something laps. And with Merck just biding his time, knowing that he doesn't have to rush just yet. Silky Stevens has fallen out of that DRS, not what Merck will need, but Destroyer Drag right behind Boy Knockout, still not close enough to make a move. Merck will not have to start making the moves now. Silky has fallen out of that DRS, so Merck will have the advantage, and Woody have the advantage on the Aston Martin in front. Does Woody have enough to hold on to Silky? We will see. Tesco still doing well to hold on to him. Merck is going to pick the optimal line. Woody goes for the defense. Merck is going to try the switch back here. He will have the better entry and the better exit coming out of this corner. But does he have that traction strong enough to hold on to the Alpine in front? But the Alpine is going to put pressure on Silky, who will not have that DRS. And when will the moves be made? AKJ Deadly, though, starting to run away from Warrior in front. So decided to go for the medium tire, still holding on to AKZ and the Visa RB on this one, as Ivy in third place. The only thing Ivy can do to win this championship is win this race. He has to win the race to win the championship, and he has to hope that Destroyer Drag and Merck will finish at the back or finish with penalties in this one, as Woody has cleared Silky Stevens now, and this is going to be a problem for Merck for sure, as they are losing even more time to the drivers in front. Is Merck going to go for a move on the inside? He doesn't decide not to. He's going to bail out on that one. His struggles in qualifying this season might be coming back to bite him on the back this time, but we'll see what he can do in the race. He has always been a very strong racer. Salty Stevens still being able to hold on to the Tier 2 champion Tesco Mule. He's behind Merck here, and he's definitely a driver to look at. He will be Tier 1 next season for sure. That is mandatory. The champion must move up. So we'll be seeing Tesco racing up here next season. Didn't qualify in this one, so he could have started even in a better position than obviously at the back for not qualifying. But Silky Stevens now has fallen off Woody. This is exactly what Merck will need. He needs to clear Silky Stevens and start to chase and catch Woody in front. Destroyer Jack already 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds away from Merck. And he's not going to be liking what he's seeing in front of him. Silky Stevens catching back up to the Alpine in front. Warring out with the quickest lap, 146.7. And he still doesn't have enough Merck. Silky Stevens will have that DRS behind Woody. And he will be able, definitely will be able to defend from Merck behind. But the race isn't close to over yet. Destroyer Drag doesn't have the pace to keep up with Boy Knockout, but Boy Knockout is on those medium tires. Boy Knockout also wants to make the move on Ivy. He doesn't have enough as they head down the Camel straight. As they head down Rouge and Radion and down. What's he gonna do? Nothing for Boy Knockout. No moves have been made that much yet, but yes, as he has cleared Woody now, Merck has moved up to P7. Silky Stevens will be next, and he's wasting no time whatsoever. Merck, no damage on his wing, so there was no contact between them. Looks like Woody might have made a mistake somewhere, or with the DRS they both cleared him heading down that straight. And Merck knows now the next driver to clear will be Silky, and if he can get 2 drivers between him and the McLaren of Tesco behind, that would be what Merck will need desperately. Destroyer Jack still falling off Boy Knockout, but his hard tires will start to get better than Boy Knockout in a few laps, so he will be able to get back up to him. The Destroyer Jack knows what to do here, but he needs a race win if he wants Merck. Oh, struggle here as Warrior Knights off the track, and that is going to lose in the DRS to AKZ Deadly for sure. And AKZ is pulling away. I mean, Merck should be happy that he has a driver like AKZ Deadly here to take the win from track, because Merck doesn't need to win this race. I've loved the driver who can take the win from Tesco and I in the last race, but looks like it was just us who could get that win. Stephanie was very close, but not close enough, as Merck is behind Silky Stevens. He will have that DRS this time. Woody is behind him, putting so much pressure on the Kick Sauber, but the Kick Sauber needs to make his move now. It's going to be now or never for the Kick Sauber. Silky Stevens in front doesn't have the DRS to defend, but Merck would not be close enough this time around. Woody though will be close enough to try and move on Merck as they head up Rouge and Radion, and down the straight they go. Would it be enough for the Alpine? He's using everything that he has in that car. Merck is not going to allow him to get enough to get close to him, as Ivy clears Wariner. Behind Woody is not close enough to make that move, and they will stay as they are. Salty Stevens doing a good job to hold on to them. His hard tires will start to get better than Kingy OG in front on those mediums, as Bakey has fallen out of that DRS, and Hybrid falling even more back for the Mercedes outfit. I am Deadly now is pulling away even more. So looking to that too, maybe they're getting a warning there from Deadly. Destroyer Jack and Merck will be trying their best not to get any warnings here, as Merck will need to clear Silky as soon as possible. Jack is almost 4 seconds up the road, and his hard tires now will start to be better than Boy Knockout and Warrior in front of him. Ooh, as Boy Knockout slightly loses the back end there, the Ferrari. That says what happened to both. Both lost it right at the start. Right at the start, and straight into the wall. That's what happened to both. Unbelievable, isn't it? But it just means less drivers for Drac to worry about to beat in this one. But Merck needs to clear Silky Stevens as soon as possible. Save that ERS. Trying to recharge. Silky has enough ERS in that car to defend from Merck. Merck is definitely not going to make it easy, as he's closer now. It's 5 tenths this time. It was 9 tenths away on the last lap. And this will be the moment for Merck. 8 tenths away from Silky, who needs to get this corner right. Brake as early as you can. Don't go too deep. He does slightly go deep there, and he doesn't look like he will be close enough again to get past Silky Stevens. Destroyer Drac is liking this because he now can make a move on boy knockout in that Ferrari, gaining on him. He's going to pick the inside and he's going to take P4, and the next driver for Destroyer Drag is going to be Wariner in that Red Bull. All Merck has to do is clear Silky Stevens and finish in P6. Drag has to win the race. Drag has to finish maybe P2 and Merck in P6. I don't still think he might have a chance if he does though. So P2 is 30 points, so that's 60. Merck, if Merck finishes P6, maybe P5, that's 24 points, that's 48, and that will not be enough for Drag. Merck is 20 something points ahead, so Drag will need Merck to finish a little bit more behind, and he will need a race win here. He's definitely going to go for it. Not going to make it easy. Else Wariner now is falling away from Ivy and AKZ Deadly. This is not what Drag will need though. Drag will have to start catching up to Ivy again if Wariner keeps falling out of that DRS. Silky Stevens still keeping in front of Merck. Who knows he's in a predicament here. It's been P7. But it's going to keep pushing. Very, very spicy one. 6 laps in to this race. And still a long race to go. As now, when will Merck make the move? He needs to time it. He needs to recharge. And he needs to set up his car as well as possible to get this move done on the Aston Martin. Try and brake as early as possible to make sure that the car can't stop, especially coming into turn 1. And he's one of those drivers without traction, so it's going to be quite difficult to get past other drivers who have that. But he definitely will not give it up, as he's now 5/10 closer than he's ever been, as Tesco is now closer than he's ever been to Woody. But will he have enough? And Woody has his yellow flags as his hybrid. Hybrid will be retiring in the pit. And here we go now, 5/10. Merck is behind Silky Stevens, and it's going to be gaining on him. He will not have enough ERS. His ERS is really low. I don't think he will have enough to get past Silky, but Woody is falling away from him now, and that is exactly what he needs. Doesn't need that pressure of Woody behind. As Merck is going to keep pushing here. Destroyer Drag though, absolutely flying here. Next is going to be Ivy in front for Destroyer Drag. He really wants this championship. He's going for it. He's gunning for it. And is Ivy going to not let him have it? Is Ivy going to push as hard as possible to make sure that Drag does not get behind him? Let me go look at the points so I can actually calculate this to perfection. They haven't. Let me see if I think. Let's see. Updated standings update. So in tier 1, yeah, Drag is 22 points behind Merck. So yeah, 22 points behind Merck. So he needs 22 more points than Merck. I think Merck has more race wins. So if he does only get 22 more points than Merck, Merck will still win on race wins. So Drag needs more points. He needs to finish P2 or P1, and he needs Merck to finish down in P7. Merck is still struggling behind Silky. He's done a better job this time to save his ERS behind the Aston Martin, but Silky is not making it easy for Merck whatsoever. And he'll be hoping no safety car does come out, because that's not what he will need now. He just needs to clear Silky. And Tesco though is now right behind him. Woody has fallen down to P10, and Tesco is going to be putting pressure on that Kick Sauber. And can he finally get past the Aston Martin of Silky? Still 8/10 behind, not enough from Merck. And still will have that DRS, but I don't think the DRS will be enough to still get past Silky. Silky doesn't have the DRS. He's using all the DRS to defend, to keep that Kick Sauber away from him. But he's going to be gaining on Silky. Still not enough, and he has to stay behind. But this has to be the lap. He's the closest he's ever been to Silky Stevens as he gets into this corner, and he's going to have to recharge as much as possible to start getting back the driver in front. Destroyer Drag though still falling back from Ivy. We need more than this right now. If he finishes here, he's only going to get, I believe, 54 points, and Merck in P6 gets, let's say, 24, 22, and 20. It gets 40 points. So that's going to be just going to be 14 points ahead of Merck. It's not enough for Destroyer Drag. He needs more than a P3. Tesco gets a 3-second penalty. Not good enough for his fight against Merck in front. But he's still doing a good job so far. King EOG 1.5 seconds behind. King EOG doing a good job on these mediums to still hold on to the front, to these strong drivers in front. And King EOG, you have to give it up to King EOG. He's one of those drivers that didn't put on traction this season, because it seems like a lot of drivers, not just in this league, around Formula 1, have put on traction this season. But he's the one that stuck out to it, and he's showing that he has the skill to do so. He definitely will be a championship fighter next season. But Merck is closest to Silky Stevens as he's ever been, and he's going to be now or never for the kick Sauber of Merck. Take it easy here, recharge as much ERS as possible as they head down now to turn 1 as Tesco and Boynock in the pit. It's going to be hard tires for the Ferrari driver, and Destroyer Drag still doesn't have enough to get close to Ivy. But here we go now. Merck is now behind Silky Stevens, also using a lot of his ERS. He does have more ERS than Merck behind, but does he have the straight line speed to defend from the DRS that Merck is going to have? Merck is out of the DRS, so he wouldn't still have enough, as Silky can't keep his place in front of Merck. Merck struggling to get past Silky here, as the Aston Martin is making it harder and harder for Merck to get close. Ivy right behind AKZ Delhi. Now he is in a good position to win this race. Ivy catching up to AKZ Delhi. That's surprising, as Ivy wants this race win. He's definitely going to try for this race win, and you will have the DRS on lap 10 when they do head to turn 2. And we will see Merck though still struggling behind Silky Stevens. This is the fight to watch. Salty Stevens 3 seconds behind Tesco, so he will not be joining the fight in front. Tesco now has recharged enough ERS to be a problem for Merck. Same thing for Silky Stevens. Silky Stevens doing racing out of his skin here. Silky Stevens hasn't had a strong race like this for a long time, and he's finally showing the skill that he had, the skill that he showed last season, and he's keeping the kick Sauber of Merck behind. But I believe once Merck does finally clear Silky Stevens, that he will start to pull up in the road. He's there 6 seconds behind Drac now, so Merck definitely is not going to beat Drac in this one. But if he does finish a place or two behind Drac, is all he needs. And now he's going to try and use that ERS that he saves. Maybe not enough on Silky, but they are close to having the same amount. But it's this corner that Silky gets the better traction out. But it's 5/10 now, and finally Merck is going to be in the prime position to make the move. AKZ Delhi though has that 3-second penalty, and that's what Drac will definitely be looking for, because he's almost in that 3-second buffer between them. Ivy not close enough to make the move, but Merck is going to be beginning a weaving all over the place. Silky, I mean, you're not allowed to weave that much, as Silky weaved definitely more than once. I saw that, and Merck could definitely be thinking about reporting that, but we will see. As Merck now is falling out to 9/10 behind now, and he has the pressure of Tesco behind. Can Destroyer Drag get into that top 2? He needs to get into that top 2 if he wants the race win. If he does finish in P2, he gets 60 points, and if Merck finishes in P5, he gets 48 points. Is that still going to be enough for him? It's still not going to be enough. Destroyer Drag needs a win. He definitely knows that he needs a win. As you can see, he's pushing very hard near. Now 2.4 seconds. He is catching up to them. He's definitely catching up to them. And Merck still struggling behind Silky Stevens. This is interesting to watch. As Merck needs to time his move. He needs to plan ahead. Maybe plan two laps, because he has that pressure of Tesco behind. Tesco is definitely not going to be waiting behind. He also wants to make the move on Merck, but Merck has that DRS to keep Tesco away. And he's now 4/10 behind Silky. It's in turn 1 and turn 2 that Silky keeps pulling away from Merck. He needs to do better with his ERS though. Silky has been doing way better with ERS. It's surprising, because he's behind Silky, he has the DRS, so you expect him, and the slipstream, so you expect him to save more ERS than the driver in front who is doing the defending. He's not doing a good job at it so far, and Silky is still holding on to Merck. He won't still be close enough this time around, but will Ivy be close enough? No, it's not going to be well. Drac is falling off a little bit more, and Ivy wants to make that move on AKZ Delhi. Doesn't look like AKZ Delhi has the pace again to pull away from Ivy. Ivy does have the pace to get this race win here, as Woody has cleared Salty Stevens now. Oof, as he puts a little bit of his tire on the gravel, as Merck now needs to save more ERS than he's been doing the previous laps. He's doing that now, and that's all he needs. ERS is all that matters in this game, and he needs to save a good amount to pass Silky Stevens here, because Silky is saving in every corner. He's not even bothering using it to pull away from Merck. He's just trying to save as much as possible, and he's going to continue to do so. So Merck has to have that in mind. I see now. I Silky, just look at that, 100% on that ERS for Silky and 50 from Merck. He has a lot of ERS. He's going to burn it as they head down the straight here to make sure that Merck is not close enough. Tesco is slightly falling off them, but 4/10 now. Merck needs a very good last and first corner to finally make this move on Silky. Save here as he gets into this corner. Take it easy. Oh, as he goes deep there, that is not what he will need. Will he be close enough to Silky? Doesn't look like he's going to be. He needs a better turn one if he's going to make this move. That is not what we need now. Silky 8/10 ahead, and Merck is definitely not going to make the move on this lap. And it's now another lap that Merck is going to be stuck behind him. And this time, he might not even have the DRS. 1 second off Silky. Does he have the DRS? He's using a lot of the DRS to pull close to him. As Tesco will have the DRS to keep close to Merck. Does he have the DRS? He does not. Ooh, and that's going to be a lot of ERS used for him there. Tesco is going to be gaining on him. As Merck needs to bring out his mojo in this one. He needs to the championship leader. He's had a lot of good races recently. And he will need to clear Silky Stevens, save that ERS. They are now the same amount of ERS. We'll see if Silky will save enough to keep him behind again. But Destroyer Jack has fallen away from Ivy now. 3.4 seconds. Has fallen away from the top two here. 3.5 seconds as he's probably in pain as they're pulling away. I was just thinking, damn it. Can you guys just slow down? I need a race win. I need to be with you guys with 10 laps to go in this one. When would the hard tires decide to come in? Medium tires have come in this one. As Boy Knockout on the mediums again. It seems like Boy Knockout might have gone into the pits one more time. He didn't start on the hards. He's on the mediums again. Interesting for him. Or maybe he forgot to change it to hards and he went for medium. It's definitely not a two-stop at Spa. It's definitely not a two-stop at Destroyer Drac. Almost 4 seconds away from them now. Silky Steve is now 2/10 away from Merck. That is better from the kick Sauber this time around, but it's still very low on that ERS. While Silky has done a good job to save his, Tesco is not going to be close enough to put pressure on Merck. You need to break very early here, try to get the apex. He does so this time, and can he finally make the move on Silky Stevens? I don't think so. Still 6/10 behind. You need to be about 4/10 behind to make a move on anyone going up this hill. The dirty air in this game is very strong, and it's, as you can see, not enough for the kick Sauber of Merck, as he's going to stay behind Silky once again. He just has to hope that Destroyer Drag doesn't have the pace to catch up to the drivers in front, and Destroyer Drag will be hoping that Merck can lose even more places as the rain is starting to pour now. They did say there was going to be rain in this one. What are the drivers going to decide to do? Are they going to stay out, go in for when the rain does come out? Is the rain going to stay? Is the rain going to pour to the end, or is it just going to pour for a short period? The strategy call is very important now, and Merck failed to get past Silky Stevens before the rain is going to now begin. But Merck, though, one thing we know about him is that he loves the rain, and would that finally be his moment? Would this finally be his moment? As the rain is starting to pour now, the drops are more consistent, and definitely it's going to be soon time for Inters. And it seems like they're holding on to their hard tires as long as they can. But Merck is the rain master, and this is when he will need his rain skill to come clutch. Silky has shown a defensive masterclass from Merck here. AKZ Delhi going into the pits. What's he going to decide to do? Is it going to be the mediums for AKZ, or is it going to be Inters? Whatever AKZ Delhi does, I'm sure the rest of the drivers are going to do suit. And here we go. We're going to stick with AKZ Delhi. Inter tires for AKZ, and we'll see if they are going to be working. They're definitely going to be watching AKZ to see if it's working. And Merck now is closer than he's ever been. He's now 5/10 behind Silky, but Silky still having better traction coming out of the corner. Every lap, Silky with the better traction, and it's not going to be enough for Merck to get past him. Destroyer Jack off the P2 now. But are AKZ tires working? Is the question. Looks like they are slightly working. He's catching up to Tesco. Is he falling off? Oh, slightly falling off. But as the laps go, the tires might get better. We will see. Stay out will definitely be the call for Merck and Destroyer Drac. as they have to think about this now. Does Destroyer Track have the pace to catch up to Ivy? Ivy does not have DRS this time as AKZ Deadly has gone into the pace. DRS is still enabled, so it's still a dry track for now. So if AKZ has blundered his strategy, he will be given a chance for Destroyer Drag to get a race win here. It's 4.1 seconds, 4.2 seconds, 4.3 seconds away from Tesco. If he starts getting to that 3 seconds, then you know that the Inters are working. Here you go. The Inters are definitely starting to work here as AKZ Deadly is pulling in Tesco meal deals. When will Drag decide to go for the P? He is catching up to Ivy. 3.5 seconds has his yellow flags at the back. Is Woody going for a spin? Woody on those tires. He is struggling, Woody, as AKZ Deadly still not getting close, not too close to Tesco, who has fallen out of the DRS of Merc. Merc will need to make the move as soon as possible. When will Drag go into the pit? Drag is staying out, so Merc definitely knows his championship rival is staying out. He is going to the pit. Merc decides it is time for the Inters. Take it easy. Don't speed into the pit lane, and it's going to be Inters for our championship leader. Would this be a strategy blunder, or would it be the strategy call to go for as AKZ Deadly on those Inters? He's the one to watch here, and yes, he is gaining to Silky in front. So it looks like the Inters are going to be working. Merc is going to come out. Not sure yet. Not too sure. The rain is not too strong here. This is a tough call. This is a tough call. But this is what you want in a championship race. As Destroyer Drac now will definitely be thinking about the pit stop. And he's starting to struggle on those hards for sure, as you can see. But as AKZ Deadly struggling too. AKZ is not catching up to Silky. Let's just watch AKZ. Let's watch AKZ because he's the one that's going to judge his tires here. With the rain pouring off, it doesn't look like it's going to pour. Honestly, it doesn't look like it's going to pour enough. There was a race like this season in Spa. Oh no, I feel it was Netherlands this season. But the rain wasn't just enough. As you can see, AKZ is still not catching up to them in front. He's losing even more time to Silky Stevens. And it doesn't seem like the Inters are going to be working here. Is Merc gaining on Bakey? Game is the question. He is slightly gaining on him, so we'll see. Bakey on those old hard tires. And when will Destroyer Drag decide to go in the pits? Destroyer Drag has that traction, so he will be able to hold on with his tires even if the track is slightly starting to get wet. As Ivy is now going to the pits, Drag decides he is going to stay out. What will Ivy go for? It's going to be Inters for Ivy for sure, but Drag is sticking this one out. He might believe that the dry tires are the tires to stay on. Everybody's going in for the Inters now. Drac is extending his stint. Would that be a mistake for Drac, or would that be the perfect strategy for Drac? As Silky going to be salty. Steve is now going into the pits. They're all diving into the pit lane now. And would this be a strategy blunder? He has to try something. I mean, he has to try something, Drac. So, but he couldn't get the race win on the dries. But so we'll see if he can do so. If he stays out on the dries and he stays dry for the rest of the race, you see Ivy still not gaining on him. As Merc is now up to P6. Merc will have to finish on the podium if Drac ends up winning this race, as Ivy has been overtaken side by side there now. Ivy and AKZ Deadly making a little bit of contact. Deadly, almost going to the gravel there, and Ivy is going to pick P2. This is not what they will need. This is what Ivy will need, as Drac is pulling away even more. And it just seems like the Inters might not be the tires to be on. But Ivy and Drac will be our judge now. Is Drac going to be struggling with it compared to the drivers behind him? He's gaining even more time as the corners go by. But it doesn't look like it to be enough. But the rain is still not pouring. The rain is still not pouring. And if he stays like oh, but no, but once the screen starts to get wet, once you start seeing those droplets on your screen, that means it's definitely time for the Inters. But the DRS is still enabled. DRS is still enabled in this one, and it's going to be 6 laps to go. Can Drac hold on to it with 6 laps to go? Oh, he's struggling now, and he's going to have to definitely start thinking about a pit stop. I mean, he has to do a pit stop. He has to go on the mediums. He's only done one pit stop in this one, and he will try to extend his advantage on them before he does that pit stop. As you can see, he's gaining even more time on Ivy. Is Ivy going to gain on him as they go into this corner? Yes, Ivy's gaining on him. It looks like now the Inters are walking. The Inters are walking, and Drac's strategy might just be An absolute blunder here. We'll see if he will go into the pits at the end of this one. He's losing. He's losing so much time here. That definitely was the lap for Drag to go in. He should have been death at the end of lap 16. Not going for lap 17. Lap 16 would have been perfect because he would have come in very close behind Ivy and Deadly, and that might give him a chance for a race win. Morina is still out there on dry tires. Merck doesn't have any pressure of Silky or Tesco meal deals, so he's definitely going to finish in the top 5. And if Morina goes into the pits for Inter tires, we'll see. But I mean, 5 laps to go. It's 5 laps to go. Drag can hold on to this. 5 laps to go. And if they, let's see. This is an interesting end to this. He can hold on to this. He's going to definitely try to do so, as they're not gaining enough on him. They're not gaining the rain. I mean, the rain is starting to pour even more now. I mean, 5 laps to go, but I keep forgetting that Drag has to go into the pits. He still has to go into the pits because he hasn't pitted yet in this race. Like, you need a mandatory 1 pit stop. If it started with rain, then I understand he can go to the end with Inters. But this will be his pit stop for sure. He will be ahead of Merck when he goes into the pits in this one. But it doesn't seem like it's like his championship chances are over now, unless a safety car does come out. He is now going into the pits for the Inters. Drac, a good job from him throughout the season. He did mount a challenge. He did start in tier 2 this season. Maybe if he started in tier 1 and did that tier 1 race, he'll have had enough points to win the championship. But he's going to be losing places. Will Wariner get ahead of him? No. Wariner has to go into the pits. But Drac is just going to be 1 place ahead of Merck. And it's definitely not going to be enough. And it's going to be 5 more laps. UFRL Merck. It has been a tumultuous stay in UFRL. He's been in tier 2, he's been in tier 1, he's been a championship winner in the inter tier and 100%. And this is the championship that has eluded him for so long, and he definitely wants to go for it. He knows he just has a few laps to go to win this championship, and he can be the only one to stop the dominance, absolute dominance of McLaren. If he does grab the championship by the end of the season, Silky Stevens even losing more places to him as Merck in P4 now. Drac needs a win. If he can't get the win, if he finishes in P2, Merck just has to finish in the top 5, and he's definitely going to have a top 5 here. Ivy, though, is driving lights out, and even though he can't grab this championship, he's showing why he was in the championship fight, even to begin with. I say, where's Perm? Perm backed out of the championship like 2 races ago. He said it wasn't. It's not really having that much fun with not that much of a field grid. But Perm has won the tier 1 before, so I don't think he was too excited to win another one. Not that interesting to him. But the other drivers here, none of them have a champ. Oh, as AKZ Delhi in the wall, and that will give a chance for Destroyer Drag. Definitely, that will give a chance for Destroyer Drag to grab a P2 here. Would that be damage for AKZ Delhi? Ivy definitely will be a race winner for sure, as AKZ Delhi now is struggling. Can Destroyer Drag? Remember, Deadly has that 3-second penalty. A few laps to go in this one. Even more yellow flags as, oh, he's struggling even more. And definitely now Destroyer Drag is going to get past AKZ Deadly. But this Merck also might be able to get past him because he has that damage. And Merck will definitely get past AKZ Deadly. But they are going side by side now, Drag and Ivy. I mean, and AKZ Deadly, who is absolutely struggling here now and is leaving on track. And is definitely giving this one up. Can Merck, though, catch up to Deadly? You need. Ivy's going to win this race. 9 seconds ahead. Merck is going to win the championship. All he has to do is cross the line. Oh my God. As I go on board with Merck, and it looked like he was about to put his car in the wall. Don't bottle it now, Merck. Deadly showing his wet racing skills. That's what he's doing right here. Showing how brilliant he is at wet racing. But remember, he did win his wet race, his debut race in Silverstone. So we have to give it to him. He just has to race in the wet, but it just looks like it's a mistake for him. But Merck would definitely finish on the podium at this point, because AKZ Deadly has that damage on his car, and Merck is one of those ones who enjoys racing in the rain. And when they cross the line on lap 20, it's going to be 3 laps to go. Tesco in P6, a good job for him so far. Kingy OG staying out on hards, staying out on slick tires. Definitely not the best choice here, as Warrior is going to be right behind him now. Warrior getting even closer, struggling to get past Kingy OG for now. But Tesco went for a good race for the championship winner in Tier 2. And he's definitely going to be enjoying himself when he does come up to Tier 1. We'll see exactly how Tesco does in that fate. A great season for him in Tier 2, and we all know that. And it's 20 of you in here to watch Merc be crowned champion. Destroyer Drag did his best. It's going to be P2 for him, but he's not going to be enough. He needed that race win to even have a chance to win the championship. If he did get the race win, Merc will have lost the championship, because Merc has to finish on the podium if he gets the racing. But Merc does have a chance to finish on the podium now, as Deadly is having problems behind. But if Ivy, maybe if Ivy had an incident with Deadly and gets a penalty, that will see the Drag get the race win. So Merc definitely is going to be thinking about that. But he knows when he gets behind Deadly, he does not want to have a terrible situation trying to overtake Deadly and putting himself in a wall. All he has to do is stay in P4, and he is going to be your champion. The McLaren of Destroyer Drag has done his best. His best is certainly not going to be enough, but a season that would deserve a round of applause from Destroyer Drag for sure. And it has been a good race. Not that interesting, but obviously the rain made it even more interesting than it would have been if it was just a dry race. Silky Stevens, though, made it very interesting, holding on to Merc for many, many laps. And if I'm giving anyone driver of the day, I might just give it to Silky Stevens. And if you can hear me, Silky, you're my driver of the day, as DRS has finally been disabled. And a good race from Silky, honestly. Merc wasn't getting past him. Merc was not getting past the Aston Martin of Silky until the rain started. And Merc took advantage of that, as AKZ Deadly now off the track even more. And they're about to start lap 21. Keep it facing straight, Merc. Please, we need a championship brought home to Kit Sauber. As a TP, my last driver champion was Matthias, my second season in Mercedes. So, and that's been my only driver champion. So if Merc can get it, I mean, I'll give shout out to Gandalf. Gandalf was my driver champion for his first season, but because of a safety car infringement, as AKZ Deadly has spun, and that was definitely set a P3 for Merc. And AKZ Deadly, another mistake from him. Merc is going to comfortably finish on the podium. He always finds his way back on the podium or a race win. It's what he does. It's the reason why he's going to be champion at the end of this one. He absolutely deserves it. Racing with him for so many seasons, the respect that I have for that driver, the respect I have for the man himself. Definitely. You're going to have a fag at the end of this one. He's going to have a zoot. I love that word, the zoot. He's going to have it at the end of this one. His family is going to be happy. He's going to be happy. And hopefully he gets lucky tonight. His grip pads cannot work in the wet. Yeah, it's clear. It's clear they're not working. It's clear they're not working in the wet. But he's really destroyed his car. He's done. Salty, come on, get him, Salty, come on, bro, get him, Salty. Let's seal P2 in the championship. I'm going to give a round of applause to my lads in Kick Sauber too. No one gave us a chance at the start of the season that we weren't going to be up there in the top 3 in the constructors, but they've honestly made me proud. After winning 3 constructors in a row, it was going to be very difficult to take that crown away from McLaren. And I'm very proud that it's them that have taken it away from me. But I'm very proud that I could still see my team finishing in P2. I mean, so I do have the formula, and next season I definitely will be going for constructors once again. I do love going for it. And as a TP who has won it, I'm sure Bevan knows how sweet he is to win that championship, a constructors championship as the main TP. It's your name, and he definitely will be going for it. So we'll have another competition next season with myself and Bevan and anybody else who wants to have a go. As Tesco now is under pressure from Boy Knockout, who finally has cleared the McLaren and up to P5. Another good drive from him, but Boy Knockout, he was part of the top 3, but it looks like his race was undone after he had to go into the pits twice. I don't know why he did the two-stop. Not the best choice from him. But Merck is on his victory lap. It's going to be victory lap for UFRL Merck. Ivy has not gotten any um, screen time today, so I'm just going to stay on Ivy till he crosses the line. AKZ Delhi is even going to finish last at the end of this. Tesco made is another 3-second penalty, so it means that Wariner will finish ahead of him for sure. Wariner was already going to finish ahead of him, but it's very close to Tesco now. Will he make the move on the McLaren? The McLaren picks the defensive line, and the McLaren is seeing how difficult it is now to race to the tier 1s. It's just a taste of what he's going to get next season, and Tesco, be ready, because it's going to be very difficult for us. Trust me, I've been here before. It's not easy to race with the best, but you've done well so far, and you can just cross the line and be proud of yourself on a top 7 finish. That's where you want to be looking to be finishing next season, top 7, top 8 every race, and you can finish in the top 5 in the championship when you do so. But Merck, he knows that he doesn't need to push hard now. Destroyer Drag has given all he has. Ivy is going to head to the final corners now. He's going to be celebrating. He's going to take the final race of the season. His championship, he can't win the championship from here, but it's a proud moment for Ivy as he finally grabs that race win after a long time waiting. And it's going to be a win for Ivy and the Mercedes team. He takes the win. Destroyer Drag is going to take P2. He tried his best, but his best is not enough. And UFRL Merck, champion of the world, as he crossed the line in P3. And he's finally done it. So many seasons in tier 1, so many tears and blood and sweat, but he's finally done it. Silky will take P4, Boy Knockout in P5, Warren will take P6, a good drive from Tesco who takes P7, another nice race from Salty P8, but because of those penalties, King Yoji and Bakey making a little bit of contact there as Bakey, King Yoji in the wall, as they will not finish ahead of Salty, as Bakey will take P10, King Yoji P9, Woody is going to take P11 in this one, AKZ Delhi is going to finish up their grade, but Merck is your champion, I'm sure. Relief is what he feels, and relief is definitely what I feel as a TP, a very proud TP of this man who has raced for me for 3 seasons. In the first season as Mercedes, third season as Mercedes, and finally the first season as Kick Sauber TP. He has been an absolute soldier for myself. All the points that he's gotten, and he absolutely deserves this. Shout out to Destroyer Drag. You gave your best. A podium for him. He should be proud of himself and proud of what the McLaren have done this season. But this is the man of the day. This is your world champion as Merck on his victory lap. I wish the game could I wish we could tell the game that he's the champion, so that we can have that cinematic of him like doing the donuts and all. But there you go, Merck wins it. He finishes on the podium. Even if Destroyer Jack won the race, the podium would be great for Merck. He is your champion. And there you go. Ivy's gonna stand for the dance moves from Ivy. Hey, I love it. I absolutely love it. Quick walk from Ivy, and he's gonna grab the win. And the celebration, the champagne is going to taste the best for sure in the Mercedes camp, but also it's going to taste absolutely wonderful for Merck in the Kick camp as they celebrate the final race of season 10. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. It is all over, and season 11 is going to definitely bring more exciting racing. Merck is your champion. And it's a great champion of that. Driver of the day and cleanest driver. Absolutely from him. Driver of the day and cleanest driver. As he takes that race winner, fastest lap for Boynock, and most overtakes for Wariner in that Red Bull. A good race. And I'm very relieved. I'm not even going to lie and say I'm not. I'm very relieved. McLaren couldn't just take everything this season and kick. It's poetic that we're the ones that stopped them from absolutely doing the clean sweep. And there you go. Kick Sauber of Merck grabs it. Redemption for him, as he is your champion. Let's go Merck as Pot Wash. I know Pot Wash, you enjoyed that. We definitely enjoyed that in Kick. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you who showed up for this race. Thank you for tuning in. This is the last stream of the season. Very interesting season. Merck is your tier 1 champion. Tesco, your champion in tier 2. And Bevan, champion in tier 3. Ivy takes the 100% constructors, 100% title, with Bakey taking the development and Alpine winning the constructors for the elite tier. Alpine back to, by the way, shout out to Alpine, back-to-back elite tier championships in 100%. I won his last season with Alpine. I did win the development and the constructors, and they've done it again this season. Good on them. Alpine dominance in 100% continues. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Wendy Fernandez. We have been UFRL. Good night, goodbye, and see you next season.